Most people think they know how to build. They've watched enough videos, done enough projects, made enough trips to the hardware store. But knowing and doing are two completely different things. We've spent the last few months testing builds that most people would never attempt. Chicken coops made from plastic drums, decks that fail before the first board goes down, doors that look solid until a deadbolt proves otherwise. And yes, job site lasagna rolled out by a 14,000-pound asphalt machine. Some of these will save you serious money. Some will change how you think about materials you walk past every day. And at least one of them involved 300 eggs and a concrete float. These are the 10 grip builds videos you need to watch before you start your next project. Let's count them down.
Why doesn't anyone in the United States build chicken coops like this? This one simple setup can save hundreds of dollars compared to buying a ready-made coop. First, he cuts a large rectangular opening that becomes the main entrance. Then he adds a wooden frame around it to make the whole structure stronger and more durable. Next, the entire drum gets wrapped in heavy-duty wire mesh. Chicks stay protected, airflow stays open. A small hinged door goes on for easy access. Then he drills an opening in the top and chars the wood surface. Looks good. Also seals it against moisture. Not bad for a drum. But that is just the start. He builds a heat lamp out of a glass jar and a single light bulb to keep the chicks warm. Tree branches get run through and turned into softwood chips for bedding. Then he installs 2 PVC pipe systems. One dispenses feed automatically, the other keeps fresh water flowing on its own. Low cost, self-sufficient, ready for the chicks the moment it is done.
We tried to make a massive pan of lasagna using construction tools. Started with 300 eggs mixed into 50 pounds of flour. Tool of choice, a mortar hoe. Once the dough came together, we cut it into 4 pieces. Then came the fun part. A 14,000-pound asphalt roller to flatten the noodles. That actually worked perfectly. Cutting them into strips was the next problem. So we used an edger attachment on the ventra, basically a giant pizza wheel, which honestly makes complete sense. Here's how the layers went. Sauce on the bottom of the pan, noodles, more sauce, smoothed out with a concrete float. Then the spices, garlic, chopped onion, and red crushed pepper. Next layer, ground beef, Parmesan, Romano cheese, basil, and chunks of mozzarella. We repeated that entire process 2 more times. Then, for the finishing touch, an electric planer to grate fresh Parmesan straight across the top. Someone had to think of that eventually. After about 1 hour in the oven, this thing smelled incredible, tasted even better. Full lasagna, built on a job site with construction equipment. Drop a comment. What should we cook next? This guy transformed his backyard walkway for under $30. At first glance, it looks like the kind of project that falls apart after one rainstorm. But compared to real stone, these cement-filled bags are cheaper, easier to place, and once they harden, they actually hold their shape better than loose rock. He starts by pouring wet cement into clear plastic bags and tying them shut. Then he lays them out on the ground, one by one, to form the path. From a distance, they already start to resemble smooth river stones. While the cement is still soft, he presses each bag down by hand, flattening the top, nudging it into a more natural shape. Then comes the part most people don't see coming. He lets everything harden and burns the plastic off. What's left is solid concrete with a rough, textured surface, which adds grip, and the small gaps between each piece let rainwater drain straight through. So what looked like a cheap shortcut turns into a durable, draining walkway. That's why this method is taking off online. Fast, simple, and genuinely more practical than it has any right to be. We just poured a basement floor on the new house we're building. Here are 3 things I did as general contractor to make the customer happy. First, instead of paying for a boom truck to pump the concrete, the guys I hired backed the trucks as close to the foundation as possible and poured right off the tailgate. Skipping the pump saved the customer $1,000. Second, we made sure the floor would be perfectly level. The guys set grade pins in the middle, and I used a laser to snap lines on the walls. They went over the floor with a Vibrascreed first, then a hand float at the edges, a bull float in the middle, concrete leveled, done. Third, concrete always cracks, but we did everything we could to prevent it. We wet set rebar in all the outside corners. Heat causes concrete to crack, so the moment the guys finished troweling, I flooded the slab with cold water. Then we snapped lines and cut the floor, so when it does crack, it cracks exactly where we planned. If you were the customer, would you be happy? Here's why you should stop using rectangular pavers for your pathways. This guy found an option that costs less and looks twice as good. He starts by marking out the spacing along the path, then lays a cement base, then sets natural cut stone circles on top. No guesswork, no complicated cuts, just clean, round stones placed exactly where they need to go. Once they're set, they don't shift. They don't crack like regular pavers do. And weeds, there are no gaps for them to push through. The cement base locks everything in place, so the pathway stays exactly exactly the way it looked on day one, which, honestly, rectangular pavers could never say the same. And the best part, these stones last decades. Not years, decades. Worth switching for.
It looks impossible. Solid wood, no cuts, no screws. And it bends into any shape you want. This is an ancient technique most modern builders have forgotten. It should not work, but it does.
They run the beam through hot steam. The heat works into the wood fibers until it starts to give. Then a backing strap wraps around the outside. A chain pulls it into shape, and it just holds.
Once it sets, it will not crack or split like jointed wood. No ugly seams, no joints to fail. The entire curve is one single piece. Someone figured this out centuries ago with basic tools, and it still outlasts most modern builds, decades, from steam and wood. This is why decks fail. Your beam and your ledger are what hold the whole thing up. Start by chalking your ledger height. Flashing goes above and below the ledger. Then you attach it. Ledgers get installed into the rim joist. And for a ledger, you never place fasteners closer than 2 inches from the top or side, or 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. Distance between top and bottom fasteners needs to be 1 5/8 inches or more. The rim joist is the opposite. 2 inches at the bottom, 3/4 at the top. The ledger can be installed anywhere inside that green zone. Install it too low though, and you risk splitting the rim joist. Footing diameter is determined by deck weight, not post size. Taller decks need thicker posts. Shorter decks can get away with thinner ones. Measure off the structure, mark your hole, and dig below frost depth.
Hand digging is hard. An auger makes it a lot easier. Pour your concrete, then either bury a post 1 foot minimum, wet set a bracket, or mark and drill out a standoff bracket. If the bottom corrodes or the post rots, it is much easier to replace. Water does not easily penetrate across grain, but it will travel right up through end grain. So keep that in mind when you are thinking about your post base.
Add a temp screw and level out your joist. Measure down to your footing and cut your post. Laminate your beam from both sides, then install it. Either lag your beam or use a post-to-beam connector. Install your joists with hangers and run them longer than the deck. When toe nailing, use the right size fastener. Too short, and the joist can pull right out. Short nails do not reach the ledger. The right nail actually connects the two. Stronger every time.
Square up your perpendicular joist using a 3, 4, 5 diagonal. Copy your ledger layout onto your beam. No blocking means twisting and deflection. Add blocking and the whole assembly locks up rigid. Measure out your deck length, snap a chalk line on your overhang, then mark and cut your tails. Nail your rim joist. Tape your ledger, install cap flashing, fold down the house wrap, and tuck everything under so rain drips down and away. Install your post and use only deck screws at first. It can still be knocked over at this stage. Add lags and full blocking and that post becomes solid. Measure from finished deck height down to ground and figure out your stair run. Install backing, then your stairs. When a grooved edge meets a square edge, that board has bearing. If a board does not sit on a joist, it will flex and eventually fail underfoot.
Install your joist tape. Joist tape keeps moisture off the wood. Here is a fastener with tape. Here is one without. After a 24-hour soak, neither one leaked through the tape itself, but when water was dumped on the untaped side, it soaked through the screw and penetrated about a 1/4 inch down. The taped side still let a little through, but far less. Install your deck boards and account for fascia. Mark 2 lines, snap a chalk line, set your depth, cut it, and install your picture frame. Frames and stairs get screws. The thicker bottom section is what makes your stairs strong. Smaller lumber or an overcut and they will not hold. Thanks for watching.
This is why you go with the expensive contractor. Instead of attaching a pre-made fence panel, these guys drop 15-foot wood posts straight into the ground. Then they smooth the tops and carve precise notches into each post.
Next, they slide wood planks into those notches, using a chain to make sure everything locks into place. A little overkill? Maybe, but it works. Not only will this fence last for hundreds of years, good luck finding a single nail or screw anywhere on it. Seriously, there isn't one.
Hollow corridors are weak. Solid ones are strong, but that has nothing to do with how well your door holds up. The real strength comes from one stud, running from top plate all the way to bottom plate. If your door's not tied into that structure, the whole install is working against itself. Frame your opening 2 1/4 inches wider than your door. Make a level mark. Use shims to plumb your hinge side. Shims work best when installed in opposite directions, so they sit flat. Stack them the same way, and one side ends up thick, the other thin, and that can twist your jamb. Tack your shims at hinge height, measure down from your level lines, and trim the high side. Then set your door. Continue shimming the hinge side until it is plumb, then nail it. Measure down from the top of your jamb to your level line. Both measurements should match. Check your top reveal for consistency while you're at it. Shim your latch side to get the right gap. Use a shim to hold that gap while you make adjustments, then nail off the latch side. Depending on whether you have hardwood or carpet and pad, you will either need to set your door higher or cut it down. Pull the door pins, score the door, then cut.
Scoring keeps the edge clean. Skip it and the edge chips. Same result if you skip a track saw.
Instead of nails, you can use screws. Here is one installed with screws. Here is one with nails. The weight of the door wants to pull the top out and compress the bottom. So shim behind the hinges and fasten behind the hinges. That is where the load is going. When installing handles, use a protective sleeve or take it slow. One careless pass with a screwdriver and the side of your handle is scratched. You also want longer screws, ones that actually reach into the framing. Same rule applies to exterior hinges. Long screws fully into the framing. Short screws that only catch the casing are not holding anything serious. Here is a door with screws in the framing. Here is one without. You can see exactly what happened. The deadbolt went straight through the jamb. Thanks for watching. This young guy is a genuinely skilled craftsman. The homeowner planned to pay him $350 to lay tiles, but he delivered work worth far more than that. When the homeowner saw the finished result, he was amazed. He paid the full amount without hesitation, then gave a generous tip on top.
He started by placing 2 tiles in the door frame to check the fit. He carefully marked the measurements, then cut the tiles to match the lines. At that point, the job could have been considered done, but he wanted to show real skill, so he kept going. He cut the 2 tiles into 6 smaller equal pieces. To keep the angles precise, he made a wooden template. Using that template, he trimmed each small tile's ends into neat triangular notches. Then he measured the side spaces for a black tile inlay. A striking pattern was starting to take shape.
He cut the black tiles into squares, then sliced them diagonally into triangles. Using a professional diamond blade, every cut came out clean and sharp. Each piece fit perfectly into its spot. For the center, he also cut 5 smaller tiles of different sizes. Methodical, precise, no shortcuts.
After confirming all measurements, he spread tile adhesive evenly on the base. He carefully placed each tile according to the design. Once set, he filled the gaps, making every line smooth and clean. With the last tile in place, a unique layered decorative border appeared. Such skill and creativity. What would you rate it?